Hi everybody, welcome to the Steelers Nation Unite Weekly Huddle presented by Hyundai. I'm Missy Matthews with Steelers.com. Our special guest this week is punter Jordan Berry. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Not a problem.
All right, we have lots of fan questions to get to, so we're going to jump right in. Jordan, the first one is from Heather. She wants to know, what is your favorite thing about Pittsburgh?
I really like sort of the biking trails. Over the summer, it's been really good for me. I sort of like going to ride my bike every now and then, and yeah, there's some pretty good scenic routes.
Very cool. This next one is from Warren. What was your motivation in becoming a kicker or punter?
Sort of initially when I was playing Australian rules football back in high school, it wasn't really quite good enough to get a good look at the pros straight out of high school, and the opportunity of coming over and getting a sort of college scholarship and getting all your rent and food paid for was pretty tempting. So looked into that, and it's worked out pretty well for me.
Okay, Pierce4 wants to know why you wear number 4.
It was just what was given to me. Yeah, I wore 37 in college and high school, and I was kind of hoping to get that, but they won't let punters wear that higher number.
All right, this is from Kimberly. She said it's almost October, so she wants to know what your favorite horror movie is.
I don't really watch too many movies.
No.
I wouldn't know.
That's okay.
I
We have tons of questions. We have tons of them. All right, this is from Mohammed. It was great meeting you last year. Who is your favorite cricket player? Also, can you say mate?
I'll pick Ricky Punting just because his nickname's Punter. So I'll go with that one. And g'day, mate.
That won't get old. All right, Jamie Buster wants to know, what would you say your biggest accomplishment was in Eastern Kentucky?
Probably. Well, on the field, I managed to score a touchdown one game. I was pretty happy with that one. But sort of overall, I got what was called the Roy Kidd Award at EKU, and that's sort of just a overall career accomplishment and sort of character award. So I was pretty happy to get that one. So it's a difficult one to get.
Very nice. Shane wants to know, what is the first position you ever played?
In American football, the first position I played was actually wide receiver. I went down just to make sure I liked the game before I went off to college. I signed up with a little amateur club down in the Western Crusaders in Melbourne, and they only had about 13, 14 players. So if you want to punt, you're gonna have to do everything else as well. So lined up at receiver and played a little bit of safety.
All right, this next one is from Zachary. If you could play another position, what would you choose and why?
I'd probably stick with wide out. It's pretty fun just getting out there, run, compete for the ball, and I feel like I'd do halfway decent at that.
Okay. Number one Steelers fan wants to know what you think the biggest change in your performance from last year to this year is.
Been a little bit more consistent this year, and working on the directional punting, which has helped our coverage team out. So, like last year, I had a little trouble with the consistency and the directional. So, when I was hitting sort of a bad punt, the coverage team were in a more difficult spot to cover it. Whereas this year, I've had a couple balls that they look pretty good on TV, but they haven't really been what we wanted. But because the direction's been good, that it's helped the coverage team sort of cover my back and make it look good.
Okay. This is from MyFranco32. Good afternoon. Do you have a routine that you follow leading up on game day? Perhaps a favorite meal?
So game days I'll usually just wake up. I sort of give myself a bit of time, about an hour and a half before we have to leave, for the 1 o'clock games at least. And then I'll just eat a couple bowls of Wheat Bix and get on the bus, head in, and I usually spend a bit of time in the locker room, about an hour or so, and then me, Chris and Greg try and be on the field and warmed up with about an hour and a half to go, and then we'll start doing our snapping, punting, and kicking, and we have a pretty set routine that we do every game for that. And then it's sort of just relax until game time.
Okay. This one is from Black and Gold. Welcome to Steelers Nation Unite. We appreciate you taking time to interact with all of our members. What teammate do you hang with the most and get advice from?
It's definitely Chris and Greg, the long snapper and kicker. Just being specialists, we spend all day together. So you have offense and defense meetings, so we're hanging out downstairs. We'll go lift together, or during practice we're together the whole time. And having Greg being a long-term veteran, he's been playing 12, 13 years now, so he's got a lot of advice to give. He's been around a lot of different punters and kickers, so he's great for all that sort of stuff.
All right, this is from Texas Dude 007. Tell me, mate, have you ever been snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef?
No, I've actually never been that far north. The furthest north I've only been is the Sunshine Coast, and it's another couple hour flight north of that to get to the Great Barrier Reef. I'd really like to go there one day, though.
Okay. This is from Guest. What is the strangest object you have ever tried to punt?
We were messing around one day I did some kicking camps over the summers during college, and we finished up at a restaurant. We were just kicking fruit and all sorts of stuff and filming it in super slow mo. So that was pretty funny.
We might have to get that video from you. All right, you're gonna have to help me with this next question. It's from Polly D. They want to know what's your favorite. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. So
I've got no idea.
Oh, you don't know what that? Okay.
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna skip that question. Sorry, Polly D. All right, this is from James. I understand the draw of football, but what is it about cricket that really gets you and so many others excited and crazed?
I've never been a super crazy cricket fan. I've sort of been a bit more casual with it, but I'll say it's pretty much the same as people with baseball over here. Yeah, sort of just that sort of tactical, sort of long-term chess game. You know, I could never really play just sitting out in the outfield for 8 hours a day. I couldn't do that.
All right, this is from Dan. Will you be attempting to watch the AFL Grand Final this weekend, and what team do you follow back home? Love that there is an Aussie at the Steelers doing us proud, mate.
Yeah, I'll definitely be supporting the Western Bulldogs in this one. Yeah, my family, we just live up the road there next to, I don't know if you're from Melbourne, but right next to the High Point Shopping Centre. So, yeah, we're getting behind the Bulldogs, and hopefully they can get their first win in a long time.
All right, this is another one from Guest. Aside from strength and conditioning, what sort of drills are you engaged in during preseason and at camp? Also, if there were a trick play involving a fake punt, how far downfield can you throw to AB that he can take it to the house?
For the drills, we do a lot of sort of one-step kicks and sort of contact work with the football, just trying to get that part of it right. I do quite a lot of... We'll get sort of Chris to just give me some underhand snaps just so we're not wearing Greg out, and then I'll just be working on my hands, making sure I'm getting the ball in the right position. Because you can only kick so many balls a day, so you've got to work on all that extra stuff. Ball drops, very important, just making sure you're keeping that drop flat. And in terms of a fake throw, I don't have a huge arm, but I could probably get it 30, 40 yards downfield. But yeah, most of the fakes I did in college were sort of short throws.
Okay. All right, we do want to remind you today our keyword is jersey to head SteelersNationUnite.com. On the homepage, enter the keyword jersey. Back to your questions. This one is from Guest again. What is your favorite place to eat at in Pittsburgh?
Place to eat in Pittsburgh? I go to, it's pretty plain, but I go to the Cheesecake Factory quite a bit. Yeah, it's just right next to near where I live, so
it's
it makes it easy.
It's a big menu, lots of variety.
Yeah, some of the places down the south side are all pretty nice. I've been trying to find a good Euro place down there, and there's been a few I've tried that have been nice. Okay.
All right, another one from Guest. After finishing college, what football team did you want to go to before the Steelers signed you?
Well, when I finished college, no one was really talking to me, so I was just going to sign with whoever called me first, and yeah, luckily for me, it was sort of unlucky. I did have to wait 14, 15 months for it, but finally got a call from the Steelers, and it's worked out well for me. I'm very happy to be here.
All right, this one is from Steel Dream 7. After college, you returned home to Australia, where you worked at McDonald's. What or who was it that gave you the determination to chase your dream of playing in the NFL?
It's probably just sort of finishing up college and knowing I had a strong enough leg. That sort of was the main part of wanting to chase my goals. But yeah, definitely my kicking coach back in Australia, both Nathan Chapman and John Smith. Both of those guys really pushed me along and helped me stay on track, and definitely my family as well. They kept up with the football and went back home watching sort of NFL games when I'm sort of I was working night shift or early mornings at the fruit market as well, and I'd come back watch an NFL game and sort of see some guys hitting some bad balls here and there, and so that sort of just kept me in thinking I can do this. So yeah.
All right. This is from Caroline. Which punters in the NFL do you emulate their technique or style for your kicking game?
Sort of my style is slightly a little bit different, but I really like watching Pat McAfee. He's able to just go out there and consistently hit big balls, and he's a great punter, really consistent. He's had an awesome career up to now, and he's a good dude on top of that. So I really want to hopefully have a career half as good as what he's had, and he'll be doing very well.
All right, this is from Katie N. Besides winning the Super Bowl, what are some of your goals for this season?
I really just want to try keep my net yardage up nice and high when I get the opportunities to hit a pooch punt down inside the 20 to be able to keep it out from being a touchback, and then sort of eliminate any chance of a return. I've given up a few yards this year on the returns. The punts haven't been quite perfect, but we'll just fix it up a little bit and we'll be able to eliminate that.
All right, this is from Tokens Life's Life matters. He wants to know, what's Australia like?
It's awesome. I grew up in most of my time growing up was in Melbourne. I lived in Perth and Brisbane as well for some time, but yeah, just sort of the culture in Melbourne with just everybody playing football and enjoying sport, sort of the arts and music scene and all that. It's pretty awesome. Plus, then also you got the great scenery and beaches and all that up north.
Sounds nice. Maybe we could come follow you when off season. I'll put in a request with my boss. Jeff G wants to know, what is it like being part of Steelers Nation and seeing all the terrible towels wherever you play?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like especially last year when we played San Diego and St. Louis, and then earlier this year out at Washington, just sort of seeing that half the crowd were our fans is really encouraging. It really helps the team out when if we score, the crowd's cheering louder for us than it is the home team.
All right, we have time for just a few more. Michelle wants to know, what is your backup career after football?
I got my degree in teaching, so I could definitely sort of fall back towards that. But I'd rather probably get into coaching. I've really enjoyed my time over here in American football, and just sort of the tactics that go into it really interest me. So yeah, once this is done, I'll probably look at trying to get a graduate spot somewhere and try and get my master's paid for and go from there. Nice.
All right, our last one. This is a good one. This is from Jay. Big fan of your Steelers Christmas song last year. What song do you want to sing this year?
I'll hopefully get out of that one.
I don't think you'll be so lucky. No. But, stay tuned, Jay. He doesn't even know yet, so we'll get there. All right, Jordan, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you to the fans for submitting your questions and joining us on the Steelers Nation Unite Weekly Huddle presented by Hyundai. Don't forget, today's keyword is jersey. To head to SteelersNationUnite.com, enter the keyword jersey. We'll see you next time.